Good morning, folks. Let's see who has got up early or is squeezing in a little bit of yoga just before work. I'm still on the coffee. I'm sure you guys all are. Hey, hey, hello. So we'll just give everyone a few minutes to get online. Don't worry if you're a bit bleary-eyed this morning because we're going to start nice and slow. How are you guys doing? Hi, hi, got a few more joining now. Hello, good morning. Morning, Karen, how are you? Good morning, folks. Come in to our little virtual yoga studio. Good morning, good morning. Okay, we've got folks joining in now. So grab some water or coffee and we're going to start down on the floor. So don't worry if you're feeling a little bit sleepy still, we are going to start quite slowly. Okay, so we're going to take ourselves down onto the floor and onto your back. So just resting with the knees bent. Feet nice, somewhat comfortable so you can really relax in this position and either have your arms out to the side or rest your hands on your belly. And just to begin with, I invite you just to notice your breath. So close your mouth and breathe in through the nose. So bringing your attention to your breath at the nostrils. And as you breathe in this way, hopefully noticing some movement underneath your hands as well, if you've got your hands on your belly. So this low breath down towards the belly tells us that our breathing muscles, the diaphragm, is working. So once you've settled into your breath and into your body a little bit, we'll lift the feet off the floor and hug those knees in. And you might want to just start moving a little bit from side to side. So we're just massaging the lower back and the spine a little bit. It can be really nice when we've just got up from sleeping for 6 or 8 hours. And you can also take both of the knees and start to make a circle with those knees. That can be a really nice movement for the lower back as well. So a few circles one way and then a few circles the other. Okay, so now we're going to just start to ramp it up a little bit. So I'm just going to invite you to just start to roll up and down the spine a little bit. So start small. So this is a really nice massage for the whole of the back. And each one might get a little bit bigger until you eventually find yourself upright. So from there, we're just going to pop the hands behind us. So perhaps with the fingers pointing out, if I come to the side, you'll be able to see me. And just resting one leg, we're going to start to make circles with the ankle with one of our feet. So go nice and slowly and really try to feel all of the movement in the ankle joint as you move the toes round. So the key thing that we're going to do in this session this morning is to mobilise your joints. I think we pay far too much attention to muscles in sport and not enough to our joints. Because if your joints aren't in the right position and they're not moving fluidly, then your muscles aren't going to be able to work as well as they can do. So this overemphasis on strength training of the muscles without focusing on the joints isn't going to give you the best reward for all of the effort that you put in. So let's let go of that ankle, move to the other one. So your ankle joints for runners, really, really important. If we have stiff ankles, that's going to have an effect through the whole of the body. Now, you won't tend to feel pain in the ankles unless you go over and sprain it. What will tend to happen is if you've got stiffness, it will cause a pain somewhere else. So that might be in the knee, for example. So really important to mobilise your joints every morning if you can, particularly the hips and the ankles. So a couple of circles either way with the ankles. Okay, and then the next movement is for your knee. So obviously our knee goes forwards and backwards, but it also goes from side to side. And if you pop your hands, the fingers just around the base of the patella, the kneecap, and if you just move your foot from side to side, you should feel the rotation from the knee. And it's worth keeping that joint movement healthy, because when we're running, your body needs to be able to move that ankle joint safely in all of its ranges of motion. Okay, so let's do the same on the other side. So popping your fingers there. So hopefully you can feel the movement of the knee joint. So it's coming from the knee, not from anywhere else. So just there, that's it. So we've looked at our ankles and our knees. So now we'll get some movement for our hips. So if you straighten out one of your legs, and then we're going to try and draw a big circle using the knee as wide as you can. So making sure that you've got some movement out to the side and you've got some movement across your body, up and round. So again, just move nice and slowly to wake up that hip joint. So we're going to do some more hip movement. So it's worth just bringing a little bit of movement into this without weight bearing at the moment. So nice big hip circles. And then we'll release that leg and do the same on the other side. So again, trying to draw that big circle with the knee all the way around. So let's do one more big circle, making sure we're going across as well as out. And then let the legs go and give them a little bit of a shake. Okay, so we're just going to bend the legs to one side and just feel into the hip, bringing it into this position. If this feels a little bit tight, then do use some support. And then we're going to just move the feet round and do the same on the other side. So we go again. So the idea of moving before you go out for your run is primarily for mobilisation. There's no point stretching really before a run, because actually it's not so good for the muscles to leave them in that lengthened state. Okay. So when we've done a couple of movements on that side, take one leg and bring it round to the front. And what we're going to do is push behind and bring ourselves up so that we can put some pressure into this front foot. So hopefully you can see me on the screen. So what we want to try and ensure is that we've got some mobility at the front of the ankle joint here for our running. This is dorsiflexion. And if you just put some weight in here, making sure that your knee stays roughly over the second toe, and just putting as much weight as is comfortable here whilst keeping the heel down. So it's not your full body weight, it's about half of your body weight, but this is a really useful manoeuvre to do just to help develop that flexibility in your ankle. Okay, so from that position, we're then going to take your other leg out to the side and stretch that leg out to the side. So hopefully my leg is still on the screen. So we're just opening up the inside of the thigh. And then can you from there bring the foot back in and bring yourself into a squatting position. Now I know not everyone can do this. Keep it higher if that is better for your hips, but just play around with whether that is a usable manoeuvre for you at the moment. And then we're going to drop the leg down. Oh, it's the other side, isn't it? Drop the leg down and bring the other leg up to the front. So, same here, keeping the knee tracked with the second toe. We're just going to press in some weight forwards, keeping the heel down and getting a little bit of mobility movement into the ankle here. And again, what we can do after that is take the leg out to the side. So your heel will lift off here, that's absolutely fine. Just opening up through the inside of the thigh here. Okay, so from here, bringing both of your feet in, just to a little squat again, but this time we're going to start to move ourselves upwards. So can you bring yourself up to standing? Give the legs a little bit of a shake. So what I'm going to invite you to do now is to walk heel to toe along the length of your mat or your living room or wherever you are. Now whilst this might look really simple, please don't look down at your feet. That'll make it a little bit harder. And then also, if you're finding it super easy, hello guys, hi Stephen, Alan, Linda, Paul. And then walk backwards. Same, heel to toe. Now once you get the hang of this, if you have a plank of wood in your back garden that's roughly kind of a 2x4 sort of size, 2x4 inches, then you can use that as a balance beam. And this is really, really good for your proprioception, which is knowing where your body is in space, for your coordination, for your balance, and for working the hips, the feet, the ankles. So whilst it looks really, really simple, it's actually doing a lot of good for the body. And it's just fun, you know, you can do this while you're watching telly, you could do this while you're watching the kids. So it's a little bit of exercise at the same time, multitasking. Okay, so let's walk back to our original position. Okay, so from here, just bringing your weight into one of your feet and engage the buttock on this side and really feel that you're grounding that foot down so you've got that sense of stability. Then we're going to lift the other knee and try and lift it as high as we can up towards the chest. Then hook the foot behind us, take it behind, so keeping the pelvis nice and parallel, keep the knee in towards the other leg. And then a third challenge while you're still balancing is to take that knee now just above your ankle and see if you can bend down as if you're going to sit on a chair while still maintaining that balance, and you'll feel a nice little opening in the hip there. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so bring yourself back up to standing. Give that standing leg a shake. Do the same on the other side, so ground your foot, engage the glute. When you're ready, lifting the knee up as high as you can. Then taking that foot back, so nice and tall. Pelvis is level, knee is in towards the thigh of that standing leg. And then can you bring the ankle just above the knee and sit down as if you're going to come into a chair. So the bottom is coming out a little bit behind you as if you're going to sit down. Brilliant. Okay, so lifting back up and give both the legs a shake. So coming to a hip width stance with the legs. And from here we're going to gently start to bring a little bit of rotation into the body. So obviously as you run there is some upper body rotation, so we want to loosen up the spine and the shoulders so that we can move fluidly. Because ultimately that's what we want. Of course we want to go fast, but we also want to just be able to run with ease and with fluidity. So if it feels good, you can take that twist a little bit deeper each time. And then slow it down as you bring yourself back to your centre. So the next movement, this is a really nice warming up movement, is to just start by bouncing on the knees and swinging the arms. And if that feels good, you can make a bigger movement until you're tipping all the way over and lifting all the way up. So just do what feels good for you this morning. Keep your breath steady. We'll do 2 more. Oh. And then shake out those arms. Okie doke, how are we all doing? Okay, so next few movements we're going to do continues with our joint mobility, but I'm going to add a little bit of an extra challenge of your coordination. So what I'd like you to do is just to start the feet to begin with. So what we're going to do is just start to bounce up and down on the feet a little bit. So at the moment the toes and the balls of the feet are still on the floor, and you're just very lightly bouncing up and down. So it's as if you were going to do a really, really slow jog. And as you do this, so continue the gentle bouncing with the thumbs pointing upwards. Take a breath in and reach your arms up. And as you breathe out, bring the hands down. So again, breathing in, arms up, breathing out, arms down. Keep the little jogging going, breathing in, arms up, and breathing out, arms down. So bringing your arms up now to shoulder height, and we're going to bend the elbows so that our palms are facing away from us. So with a breath in here, and then as you breathe out, just turn that the opposite way. Breathing in, keep that little jogging going, breathing out. So you'll notice you will need to engage your core muscles here to keep this jogging nice and upright. So one more. And then release. So a little bit of movement for the elbows. I'm going to come a bit closer. So imagine you've got little doggy paws, and I'd like you to bring your doggy paws up towards your shoulders and then turn them inside and then release the arms down. So doggy arms or doggy paws up, turn them inside and then release them down. Last one. That's it. Give them a shake. And then we're going to make some circles into our wrists. I hope you're all still jogging. A couple of circles either way. So remember, this is a nice soft movement. If you want to take it a little bit more into a standing jog, you can start to lift the balls of the feet off, but keep it really nice and soft. So you shouldn't hear your feet on the floor. Okay, last one. Just some movement into the thumbs either way. Circle the fingers. Okay, and give the hands a shake. Okay, so now I'd like you to nice and softly bounce. So again, really hoping that you don't hear you bouncing so much on the ground. So remember, when we run, we're hopping and jumping quite a lot, more than you think, so this is a really good warm-up exercise. But what we also need is strength in our ankles. So I've talked about mobility, but we also need the ankles to be stiff. So what I'd like you to try now is jumping quite hard on your feet. So it's a bit like a pogo jump. And this time you will hear. But what we want is the absorption to go into the ankles. So it shouldn't hurt. Whew! Okay. Bring yourself to standing. Again, focus on your breath. Nose breathing. Bring your attention to your feet. So feel the connection of your feet with the ground. You can shift your weight around just to explore, with your eyes closed, the movement around the feet. And then bring your awareness up into the ankles. Into the lower legs. Into the knees. The thighs. Your hips. Into the torso. Up the spine. Up towards the shoulders, into your shoulders, and your awareness down the arms into the hands. And then from the shoulders into the neck. And if the neck feels stiff, you can just take a little bit of gentle movement, circular movement, just to feel into the neck. And bring your attention into your face. Perhaps bring a smile to your face. And then just for a minute, we're going to visualize yourself out on your run. So whether you're going out on your run straight away or later today, I'd like you to just bring a picture into your mind of you running. And not how you picture yourself in a judgmental self. So if you do think that you have some difficulties with your running right now, can you picture how you would like to run? Could you picture yourself moving with ease? Can you picture yourself running without pain or discomfort, moving fluidly? And can you visualize yourself breathing smoothly through the nose and quietly, and that your movement through the environment just feels really easy and graceful? And just planting a mental seed that if we regularly move our joints, both in movements on the ground as well as standing movements, then that fluidity will come back to our running. So planting that visualization, that reward, that putting a little bit of time aside to daily move the joints is going to give you that big reward of making your run feel so much easier. So, going back to the face, bringing your awareness to your smile, and just giving yourself a big heap of love and gratitude for taking this time out this morning to prepare yourself, whether it's for work or for your run. And then when you feel ready to open your eyes, bringing that smile outside. And I very much hope that I've helped to wake you up and prepare you for your run. So thank you very much everyone for joining. And just a little note that this evening I'm doing a web chat on Zoom about how to support your immune system using breath and movement. So it's all based in science. It's not one of these sort of pseudoscience, this is what's going to protect you against coronavirus type thing. It's actually a really good habit to put in place to keep your immune system healthy, not just at times like this when we've got a pandemic, but also when you're training regularly, you want to make sure that you're not going to get sick. So if you want to join us, I'm going to pop a link underneath this video where you can just sign in, and then I'll send you the link to the video tonight. If you can't make it tonight, it's at 7 o'clock. If you do send me, if I do have your email address, then I can send you the replay. And there's a little 10-minute yoga video that goes with it as well. So hopefully I'll see some of you there. If not, I will see you online here for some yoga at some point in the future. And please do check out the replay as well. And give us a comment or a wave in the replay as well, because we do see that. So I wish you a really great day, and it was lovely to practice with you all. And I shall see you again soon. Take care. Bye.